see. What are the common causes of patients' pain?
I would say the number one thing that causes everybody pain is flexion.
What is that?
Right now we're sitting.
Mm-hmm.
Over time, if you keep sitting and sitting and sitting and sitting, anytime you get up, you're going to have back pain. And it's actually not because of your back, it's because of the muscles in the front that are keeping you in a flex position. Drive, sit, get up out of your bed, put your shoes on, put your pants on, brush your teeth, lay in the bed with the pillow under your neck, stare down at your phone, stare down at the computer, work all day at a desk, work all day writing something down, play an instrument, you name it. Flexion is everyone's biggest issue. They might not know that, but I do a lot of research in the background. I go to a lot of seminars. I do a lot of studies to figure these things out. Just like myself, most of my back pain I thought came from my back, but it didn't. It all came from the muscles in my front. So once I learned how to stretch those, a chiropractor taught me that, all my back pain started receding because I was becoming balanced again. It's the same thing with your neck. Now, like I said, patients don't know that. Most patients come in because just pain.
Yeah, right.
Number one is back pain, low back pain. Number two is neck pain. And I'd say besides just the word flexion, it's what you do every day for life that causes your issues.
It's like constant.
Yeah, it's over and over and over. Different jobs create different issues. You see a trend with hairstylists. Most of them, it's the head and the neck because they're always like this. Their shoulders are always in front compared to people that work on computers all day. Yeah, they still have neck pain, but it's not because they're twisting their neck to the side. It's because their head's down and their hands are like this.
I've heard, I'm not sure if I'm right, but I've heard when people don't put their elbows like supportive or like this instead of like this, they have pain on their shoulders.
That's correct.
Yeah, because the weight.
From your fingers all the way up into your neck, all the nerves that control that come out of your neck. Same thing with your feet. Everything from your toes to your low back comes out of your low back. So how you position yourself, you cut the nerve off from functioning properly. So depending on how you sit, stand, sleep, walk, talk, everything, you put pressure on the nerves a certain way. And after doing it over and over and over and over, that's where like numbness and tingling comes from in your hands, in your feet, besides like disease. So pick a profession. I can tell you what their issues are. And it actually makes it easier because then I already know how to treat them. Although each person is different because of their genetic makeup, it's the same thing that you're trying to do. You just have to kind of do it a different way. Yeah.
Was it a turnkey? Was it a complete setup? Do you know what turnkey is? Like the franchise supports everything,
No.
It wasn't?
So they have a guideline that you follow. What you do as a franchisee, which is what we are, you buy a license from them or multiple. They kind of give you a checklist of things that they require, and then it's up to you to go and do it. So any joint chiropractic will be built the same way. It'll have the same colors. It's the same philosophy. But then it's up to the owner of how they want it, their own little personal touch.
Yes.
The doctors that they hire, how they speak, what music they're listening to, things like that. So although there's a guideline, you have to pay for the build out, you have to pay for the equipment, you pretty much have to take care of everything.
Wow. Were there any trainings that you had to go through?
As the owner or a chiropractor?
As an owner, I guess.
Yeah, so it's pretty tedious process, but after you get through the application and all the financial and paperwork type of things, they want you to go see what a successful practice looks like. So they'll go send you to ones in your region that you're going to be in, introduce you to kind of the people in charge of your region, show you how the daily routine works, what the building should look like, what the flow of patients, how everything should work. There are other things on a computer that you have to go through, and so there's a couple different styles of training. Doesn't take long. Pretty much if you feel that you got it, you got it. If you need more, you just go to a different business. With me coming in, I had already run my own private clinics for years and years and years. So for me, I went for a weekend and then I was on the computer probably 3 nights just learning this system.
Mm,
And then where our group differs from the rest of the country is all the things that worked really well for me in private clinic, I've added to this.
mm-hmm.
The way you talk to people, what you say versus what you don't, calling people to check in on them to make sure they're okay after their very first visit,
Mm-hmm.
the atmosphere, that's what separates us and makes us different.
Do you prefer that franchise doesn't give you restrictions, or
Yes and no.
Yes.
I think it's the model works,
Uh-huh.
but I think you have to put a personal touch on it. If you just have robots working in here,
Yeah,
it's not going to go good. Yes, we
yeah.
do mostly
Mm-hmm.
what the franchise wants us to, but we put personal touch on it. You know, we came up with how the doctors are going to talk to the patients, how the doctors talk with their staff, how the team works together. You know, what music we want to listen to on what day, just the communication, what each person is responsible for. And although the franchise wants you to do well, they don't work here.
Mm-hmm.
So we followed their guidelines ish, make them happy.
Mm-hmm.
But then we have our own set of guidelines that we're going to follow because it makes it even better and it makes it our own business.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This is the question that might be kind of restrictive, but do you turn in any like percentage of profits to the main franchise?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Every month.
Because most franchises that I've interviewed, they don't want to tell how much they give, but you don't have to tell me because I feel like some franchises don't want people to know.
Well, it's not a huge percentage,
Mm-hmm.
but think for any franchise, you're using their name.
Mm-hmm.
They're the ones who created this whole concept.
Right.
You're using their logo.
Mm-hmm.
You're using their network nationwide,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what you're paying for.
Mm-hmm.
It does cover more than just that, but it's a small percentage that
Doesn't affect the business.
No, because you just don't account for it. It's
Right.
just like paying your lease.
Right.
You got to
right,
pay
right.
it to keep the business going. So
Yeah.
so that's where we stick that part.
Mm-hmm.
And then we focus on the other part, which is going to
Mm-hmm.
keep us going, keep everybody happy, keep the business growing.
Pros and cons, I guess, just part of the deal.
Yeah. I would think if it kept changing every year or kept
Mhm.
changing every month, or they kept deciding, hey, we need this month, hey, we need that this month,
Yeah.
I would never do that.
Mm.
But it's a set thing, you know, up front, you know what you're paying for.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that you can use their logo and you can use everything that they've already built for a decade,
Mm-hmm.
it actually helps you. You're going to pay that money if you're in your own private clinic. It's just going to be paid to something
Right,
else
yeah,
to
right,
help
right.
get your name out.
Mm-hmm.
So this is already kind of set and done. So why wouldn't you want to pay for it?
I know this is a new business. It's been 9 months, right?
Yeah.
But if you wanted to start over and go back in time, would you change anything from the start? Or maybe you don't have anything to change because you like the way it is?
For this specific business?
Yeah.
Initially, I want to say yes, I'd like to go over because you learn so much.
Mm-hmm.
But if I think you need all that, I think you need to learn all that.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, you wouldn't be where you are in that specific moment.
Right.
So, like our next clinic, it's going to go much easier than this one
Yeah.
because
course.
we already
You
know
know,
the build
yeah.
out. We already know what we want the patients to feel like. We know the atmosphere. Now we know what the doctors and the employees, we want them to say, how we want them to be on the same team.
Mm-hmm.
And if we didn't have the last 9 months to learn all of that,
Yeah.
then
right.
we wouldn't know how to do that to the next place.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we fell on our faces a lot of times.
I mean, it's a learning curve.
I don't necessarily think I would change anything. We did learn a lot.
Mm-hmm.
We're much better now because we're not learning anymore. And I don't mean to say that we're not learning. I just mean that we know what we're expected, what each job,
Right.
what's
You know
expected.
enough to-
Yeah. And at first it was like, all right, well, now let's do this. All right, well, now let's do this. All
Mhm.
right, now let's do that.
Yeah.
And it was like, all right, well, what am I doing? Because now I got 10 things I got to do. I was never told I had to do that. And then you
Yeah.
start playing games in your head. So now it's, I can give you a piece of paper and say, hey, you're a new doctor. This is what's required of you. This is what you have to do every single day. Do you agree on it or not? It just makes the hiring process easier. It makes it easier.
Time consuming.
Yeah. And it's already right there in front of you. All you got to do is do the check boxes.
Right.
and then put your personality in it. So it makes it very convenient.
Who do you recommend for this kind of business?
You mean who would I tell
Yeah.
to invest in something like this?
Yeah, like, have this kind of business model.
Anybody that's smart.
Oh.
I truly believe that franchises, they're getting bigger and bigger every year. They are easier than having your own personal company.
I think it's hard to fail, right?
Yes and no.
Yeah.
I would say you have more support because people have already done it. So you have the guidelines. It's already set up in front of you. All you need to do is figure out how to get the money to do it. Now, I do think anybody that would want to invest money in a business, this is great. You're always going to need health. Chiropractic is only getting bigger. It's not getting smaller.
Right.
More people are becoming aware of their health. These are simple concepts that opens the door for everyone to come in.
Right.
You do not have to be a chiropractor to own a joint.
So you hire the doctors, right?
Yeah. Anybody can own a joint chiropractic. I would say it's better if you have a chiropractor that's on your team of investors, because if you're not in the health field and you're hiring doctors, doctors are educated in a certain way and they know much more about health and patient care and this and that. And if you're their boss as an owner and you don't know any of that, how can you tell them what to do?
Right.
So it's a fine line. However, I would think any smart person that's going to invest in a business, you should study what you're investing in, so you do have some common knowledge. But yeah, I think it's a great idea. I like franchises. It's a reason why they're around. It's a reason why there's a million McDonald's. It's a reason why Chick-fil-A is so successful. Main Squeeze next door is blowing up everywhere. I think that's just a wave of the future. Convenience, affordability. You already know what you're going to expect. You already know what you're getting.
Right.
Be cool to create your own franchise.
Oh, yeah. That would be nice.
It would be nice.
This is almost at the end, but do you have anything else to say before we wrap up?
Not necessarily. Thank you for doing this with me. This has been fun.
Last question is, do you have any advice for young people or teenagers that might want to have this kind of business?
Yeah, I would say to keep working hard. Set your goals as high as possible. If you don't get there in the time frame that you thought you were, write a new set of goals. Maybe that wasn't meant to be. Don't get hung up on it didn't work out, or that idea didn't work. I don't know what I'm going to do. Keep working. Keep trying. Keep doing things, because you have no idea what is actually going to be at the end.
Right.
And when you get there, then you will know, and all the hard work, I promise you, will pay off. Like I said, I've done a lot of things in my life. I wasn't always happy because I just thought that you had to just work and kind of be miserable, I guess. But then I just decided that I wasn't doing that anymore. If you're good at what you do and you're happy at it, money will come. If you're miserable in it, all of your consumers or patients or whatever, they will be able to tell that, and they're not coming back. Not because of the business, but because they don't want to be around the negativity.
Yeah, right.
So keep your head up, keep working hard. There's nothing that will ever work better than working your tail off or something. That was a hard concept for me to understand. When I was younger, just kind of thought everything was just going to come to me.
Not everyone really says that kind of stuff in school or, outside of school, really. Like the environment, people usually are negative, and I feel like people like you should speak up more, and all the other people too.
Well, school's a system, just like our country. I would say for politics, school, religions, things in that area, don't get so fixated on 100% of what they're saying. Form your own belief. Know that you have to go through this in order for you to form your own personality, your own identity, what you believe, what you want to do. But that's the way that you have to go to get there. So get through it. Know that it's just a stepping stone to the next thing, and go out in the world. Learn about the world. Learn about people. Learn about businesses. Learn about religion. Learn about what you want to believe, what kind of life you want to have, and what do you actually have fun doing. And then that will create who you are in the future. I don't think growing up we have a great example. I think you're told to do this, then do this, then do that, and then
Yeah.
that's it. And I don't agree with that. I've never
Mhm.
agreed with it. I think you should take your time. You know, if you know what you want to do from a young age and you get through it all and that's what you do, awesome. But
Mhm.
that's not everybody.
Right.
Try different jobs. If you're miserable at that one, guess what? There's a million people hiring. Go try something else.
Right.
You'll keep climbing and you'll figure it out because you're going to find something you're good at. You're going to find something that you're happy with.
Mhm.
And then, like I said, if you can combine those things, money will come. It's just a matter of time. You can't be in a rush to get there. We're different. All of us are different. You're going to get there a different time than I am. I got here a different time than other doctors. And if you're worried about what your friends or your family or who accomplished this at this point,
Right.
you will always be going downhill, not uphill.
Mm.
Focus on yourself, focus on what you have to do, and
Yeah.
keep going after it. It
Mhm.
doesn't happen overnight for most people.
Right.
As quick as you get money, it goes out
Yeah.
just that quick. So you
Mhm.
want something that's going to last, and those things take time.
Mm.
And the most important thing is you got to have fun in life. You get one shot at this. So all the other things that everybody's worrying about and getting, all hyper, aggravated with, I don't worry about all that stuff. I have my own beliefs.
Uh-huh.
I know not everyone's going to agree with me, but it's what I believe.
Right.
Through my experiences. It makes me happy. It provides for my family. And you got to enjoy life. I mean, if you don't enjoy life, what is the point of being here? You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, that would be my advice.
That was really good advice.
Well, thank you.
Most people just say have big dreams and that's it, but you actually.
Well, you still got to work.
Yeah.
You can have the dreams, but what are you doing to make it a reality?
Mm.
You have to work. You have to figure out who you want to be.
Mm-hmm.
You can be whoever you want to be. That's the coolest thing.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to be what everybody else tells you have to be. That's just what you think you do because everybody says that.
Right.
And that is the complete opposite. I had a leopard mohawk when I was younger. I changed all kind of different clothes to see what I wanted to wear. I tried it everybody else's way. That wasn't me. So I did things my own way. I didn't always do great, but it taught me a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's why they say the journey of life is the most important thing.
Mm. Right.
And it is. Make friends, never burn bridges. Always be honest with yourself and other people.
Mm-hmm.
Even if they get upset or they get mad or you think you're going to make them sad, there's nothing more important than truth. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
I learned a lot. Yay.
That was fun.